Hello and welcome to the news at 10 on NTN News 24. We are reaching you live from Abuja. I am Nolin Ebel Ame. Let's take the headlines. President Tinubu to embark on two-day working visit to Katsina State to assess security situation in the area. Nigerian Education Loan Fund reaffirms zero tolerance for corruption, refutes alleged mismanagement of funds. National Judicial Council directs Imo State Governor to reverse appointment of Justice Theophilus Nnamdi Zeku as acting Chief Judge of the state. Minister of Works inspects ongoing road constructions in Lagos, promises that all targets must be made.
That this project is over 70% done, and so the contractor has not gotten funds up to 70%.
Let's begin the bulletin by informing you that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will depart Abuja for Katsina State today, Friday, for a two-day official visit. In a release by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, during the visit, the President will meet with key stakeholders to assess the security situation in the state. He will commission the Katsina Agricultural Mechanized Center and a 24-kilometer dual carriageway completed by Governor Dikko Umar Rada. President Tinubu will also honor an invitation to attend the wedding of the governor's daughter before returning to Abuja. Still in Katsina, the State Commissioner for Information and Culture, Dr. Bala Salisu Zangu, has briefed newsmen on some of the activities lined up for the President during the two-day visit. Suleiman Kadogi reports.
This is the best gunman we have seen. There's no sentiment about it. I'm not even a card-carrying member of APC, I'm just a civil servant.
Now that the president is coming to Katsina State, we are hoping that some of the problems we have in Katsina will be taken into consideration and solved it once and for all.
Malam Dikko Rada, the governor of Katsina, he has done everything for us. If you look at Katsina for now, you see many things that we achieve.
During the two-day visit, the president is set to commission some of the laudable projects initiated and executed by the present administration of Malam Dikko Umar Rada.
The presidential visit will feature the inauguration of Katsina Eastern Bypass, a significant project which spans from Dutse Road through Kanu and Daura roads and hence at Yandaki in Keta local government area of the state. The project is expected to decongest the city, reduce travel time and boost socio-economic activities in the state. The president is also expected to inaugurate the State Agricultural Mechanization Center, aimed at repositioning the agricultural sector of Katsina State.
The Mr. President visit will mark his first official engagement to Katsina State since he assumed office in 2023. Suleiman Kodogi, NTA News.
And elsewhere, governors of the northeastern states have resolved to open up the sub-region to investment opportunities in agriculture and industrialization to provide employment to the teeming youth who are vulnerable to recruitment into the army of the insurgents. This was part of a 9-point communique issued by the governors at the end of their 11th meeting in Damaturu, Yobe State. Yunusa Suleiman reports.
The communique, read by the Taraba State Governor, was the product of extensive deliberations by the governors and other key stakeholders in finding practical solutions to the social, security, and economic challenges facing the sub-region.
The forum commends the federal government of Nigeria in its effort at improving the security of the country and resolve to collaborate and support it all matters to address emerging security issues in the country.
The forum also resolved to work closely with the National Commission for Almajiri and Out-of-School Children Education by providing office space in each state, supporting the enrollment of Almajiri and out-of-school children in formal schools, and developing a unified approach to address the issue in the sub-region.
Forum notes that the poor road networks in the sub-region is contributing to the insecurity in the region. It calls on Mr. President to, as a matter of urgent concern, address the issue of abandoned projects, which is critical to addressing poverty, insecurity, and general underdevelopment of the sub-region.
The next meeting of the forum is scheduled for July 27th to 29th, 2025 in Jalingo, Taraba State. In Damaturu, Yunusa Suleiman, NTA News.
From Damaturu, we take you to Plateau State, where the Plateau State government is set to revive and remodel Jos Abattoir to a modern standard with a 500 daily slaughtering capacity. Governor Caleb Mutfwang announced this when he received in audience the Minister of Livestock Development, Idi Mukhtar Meha, at the Government House, Jos. Yusuf Jika reports.
An impactful symbolism, the handshake is not ordinary greeting but a signified turning point in Nigeria's livestock sector. Governor Caleb Mutfwang of Plateau State described the Ministry of Livestock Development as a game changer of Nigeria's current method of animal husbandry and dealing with insecurity occasioned by farmers-herders clashes, revealing plans to remodel and redesign all the livestock infrastructures in the state for greater results.
A clear roadmap that not only are we going to boost our economy and GDP, we're going to create employment, we are going to develop opportunities for entrepreneurs. The value chain around livestock is so massive.
The minister revealed that government is committed to reviving the 100,000 hectares Wase Grazing Reserve to reap multidimensional opportunities to herders' family and those interested in livestock farming.
We want to put up all the necessary infrastructure in Wase Grazing Reserve to start receiving pastoral animals, so that we put up every necessary infrastructure and amenity in that grazing reserve to make sure that it becomes an economic hub.
A focus group discussion was organized with livestock stakeholders affirming their commitment to the development of the sector and prefer solutions for growth. The minister and his entourage were at the palace of Bangam, Jos. Yusuf Jika, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Governor Caleb Mutfwang says Plateau State government will assist traders who lost their sources of livelihood as a result of fire outbreak to return to their lawful businesses. Ndiang Andiabagyang reports that this was when he visited the Bant Jos main market to assess the damage.
The fire outbreak, which occurred a few days ago, ravaged shops in their hundreds, leaving the traders' faith hanging in the balance. Governor Caleb Mutfwang, in company of top government officials, visited the market where he expressed sadness over the incident, especially at the time the state is battling with insecurity. He appealed to the traders to cooperate with government so that they can be assisted to bounce back to their businesses.
I've been duly briefed by the security agencies that this was occasioned by an electric spark because of the kind of makeshift arrangements that we have in the premises of the Bond Just Market. It's very sad. It could have happened because a human being was careless or negligent, and it has put us in this very lamentable situation. I want to assure the traders that we will work together with the Just Love local government and their union and see how we can help them to start life again.
The governor also disclosed that he will soon unfold decision of government on the old market premises in Jos, Indenyan and the Abagyang. NTA News.
Talking security, normalcy has returned to Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, following a pandemonium that occurred last night when an ordnance at one of the ammunition storage facilities in Giwa Barracks exploded. Abubakar Musa reports.
The incident was said to have started around 11 o'clock last Wednesday night when an ordnance at an ammunition storage facility in Giwa Barracks exploded, causing loud noise and pandemonium, especially among people residing close to the barracks. Confirming the incident, Theatre Commander, Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Hadinkai, Major General Abdul Salam Abubakar said the high temperatures being experienced in Maiduguri was what caused the explosion and not an attack as speculated by mischief makers.
The situation was swiftly brought under control through the collaborative efforts of military firefighters, the Federal Fire Service, as well as the Borno State Fire Service departments and various firefighting vehicles from security agencies.
He announced that the Nigerian Army will henceforth be conducting a comprehensive review of all storage facilities to mitigate the effect of the current high temperatures being experienced in Maiduguri to avert recurrence of unwanted explosions.
The Air Component Command Operation Hadinkai and the Nigerian Army Unmanned Aerial Vehicle Command conducted aerial surveillance over the incident scene and the surrounding areas of Maiduguri metropolis. These allowed them to determine the extent of the explosion and guide rescue efforts.
Meanwhile, normal activities have continued around the Giwa Barracks and other parts of Maiduguri under a peaceful atmosphere. In Maiduguri, Abubakar Musa, NTA News.
This is the news at 10 on NTA News 24. More stories when we return. Thank you for staying with us on the news at 10 on NTA News 24. And still talking security, the Kaduna State government says it will continue to support relevant security agencies in sustaining the progress made in tackling security challenges over the past 2 years. The governor of Kaduna State, Uba Sani, made this known during the state's Security Council meeting. Muhammad Umar Ajingi reports.
Kaduna State has continued recording success in addressing security challenges in the state. The Chief Security Officer of the state, heads of security agencies as well as traditional leaders are here again to assess the progress made so far.
Kaduna today is safer than we met it, and that could not have been possible without their own support, without their cooperation, and with your own professionalism. I can say here that in the last 1 year thereabout, since we started the issue of Kaduna model, working closely with the relevant security agencies to address the issue of insurgency, banditry, kidnappings in Kaduna State, we have been recording a lot of successes.
The high-level meeting, which was concluded behind closed doors, is expected to further strengthen efforts aimed at safeguarding lives and property in the state, as all the stakeholders are unanimously in their submission that the Kaduna State Peace Model is yielding positive results. In Kaduna, I am Muhammad Umar Ajingi, NTA News.
And elsewhere, the ECOWAS Parliament has ended its delocalized session in Banjul, the Gambia, with a renewed vigor in ensuring that the Sahel states rescind their decision to the regional bloc. ECOWAS Parliament correspondent Muhammad Rabiu Ali reports that this was the consensus of the members, with other resolutions not made public.
Days of series of meetings are now over in Banjul on the impact of withdrawal of Mali, Burkina Faso and Niger from the ECOWAS bloc. Deliberations focus on the daunting challenges confronting the West Africa sub-region, especially with the withdrawal of 3 member states. The free trade movement, custom, political and security impact of the situation.
The last few years, since the impasse in our region with the 3 countries, we've been troubled. And we've promised that we'll leave no stone unturned. Even after all of the paperwork are done, we'll continue to go after our brothers and sisters to come back in the region.
Let us come together as a team. No matter what, we agree to disagree. There are so many things. We are human. We can correct things along the way.
We hold in high regard the invaluable and decisive role that the Republic of the Gambia continues to play in the advances of regional integration and development within ECOWAS institutions.
For now, the number of parliamentarians in the ECOWAS bloc has reduced from 115 members to 97 with the withdrawal of 3 member states. From Banjul, Gambia, Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
And back home, the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, NELFund, has expressed concern over misleading reports linking it to alleged mismanagement of the National Student Loan Scheme. NELFund clarifies that it has not been implicated in any wrongdoing and described the reports as baseless and damaging, stressing that no funds have been mismanaged, stolen or left unaccounted for under the current scheme. The agency warns against attempts to distort facts and associate it with issues unrelated to its operations. It affirms its zero-tolerance stance on corruption and commitment to transparency and accountability, as it remains focused on its mission to provide financial support to Nigerian students with integrity and responsibility. The vision of President Bola Tinubu towards providing access to education and opportunity to acquire knowledge in tertiary institutions, irrespective of financial status, among Nigerian students is succeeding across the country. This came to the fore at a one-day awareness campaign aimed at promoting students' understanding of the federal government's student loan scheme in Cross River State. Paul Abel reports.
Nigerian Education Loan Fund and NELFund was instituted by President Bola Tinubu at inception of office to ease the financial burden of students who may find it difficult to pay school fees and upkeep at school. The NELFund team visit to Cross River State and at the Cross River State University appeals to students to take advantage of the opportunity, as the application process is easy, transparent, inclusive, equitable, interest-free, and payable after 2 years of NYSC service.
500,000 people have engaged. Our success rate at the moment is running at about 98%, so most of those people will get the loan. We've disbursed, I think, somewhere close to ₦1 billion to Cross River State from the loan fund.
The NELFund intervention has significantly ameliorated the pressure on both students and the system by ensuring that students who genuinely needed financial support could meet their obligations and continue their studies without disruption.
Some students commended the federal government initiative, describing it as lifesaver.
I started receiving my monthly stipends of 20,000 naira, and my school fees was also paid.
NELFund has really helped us. At least it has reduced the stress, the burden from our parents.
Thank you so much to Mr. President. Nigeria has happened for me, and I wish it could happen for every other student out there who is struggling.
Over 131 million naira has been disbursed to 1,691 students at the University of Cross River State in 3 tranches, which has helped to restore hope to students who would have discontinued their education due to financial constraints. In Calabar, Paul Abel, NTA News.
Still talking education, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has dissociated itself from the fraudulent account number 852064117 at Sterling Bank, associated with the scam name Copyright Writer Personal J Rescheduling FLW. A statement signed by the JAMB Public Communication Advisor, Dr. Fabian Benjamin, says the account is being exploited to defraud unsuspecting candidates who missed their Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination (UTME). JAMB says some unscrupulous individuals are deceitfully soliciting payments of 15,700 under the false pretense of offering rescheduling services for the examination. The statement clarified that individuals behind the scheme have no affiliation with JAMB or any legitimate government agency, adding that the account details provided in these communications are entirely fictitious and bear no connection to any official processes. JAMB says it has reported the matter to relevant security agencies and is actively pursuing those responsible for the deceitful act. Meanwhile, a special exam will be held for candidates who failed biometric verification. Infrastructural development is fundamental to socio-economic development. This explains why the present administration is keen on rehabilitating and reconstructing durable routes that are germane to the nation's economic growth goals. Minister of Works David Umahi stated this while touring ongoing rehabilitation and reconstruction of routes in Lagos State. Lanre Bilei has details.
Both Ido and Marina bridges, the minister informed the contractors rehabilitating the bridges to come up with a method statement on days the bridges will be closed to the populace for Lagos residents to receive adequate information on alternative routes at least 7 days before work commences. On the Independence Bridge, you remember that the minister says that he will come back after 3 weeks of rehabilitation works to know if there will be more work to be done on the bridge, and discover that the work they've done then is still okay and perfect, so no more rehabilitation work on Independence Bridge.
I want to declare that the work we did through the special grace of God and God's wisdom is now declared to be a permanent work. No more any other kind of work on this particular spot. However, the boat carriageway will have to be resurfaced.
So the minister is right here at the Lagos-Calabar road, and the main thing is that the 20 kilometers of this road is built to be inaugurated on May 29th by the president this year, and the minister is here to check on the level of work done, because the targets must be met.
Let me state that this project is over 70% done, and so the contractor has not gotten funds up to 70%, and that's why I call them people that have set their mind towards nation building than making money. So we are very, very happy.
David Umahi used the opportunity to visit the frontier of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway construction. In Lagos, Lanre Bilei, NTA News.
In other news, Nigeria is grooming the next generation of innovators that will build digital technology solutions to solve not just the challenges of their immediate environment, but that of the globe, and become tech entrepreneurs rather than job seekers. In this regard, the Ministry of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy engaged these young minds from all secondary schools across the country, and they did not disappoint as they created groundbreaking tech solutions to contend at the National Girls in ICT competition held in Abuja. Chidima Ndubisi reports.
Nigeria is securing its digital technology future, since about 70% of the population are under 30 years. A notable percentage, girls. efforts are being made to have them develop interest in digital technology and innovation in a field often regarded as just for the male folk. So, the Ministry of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy created an opportunity for young girls in secondary schools nationwide to come up with digital solutions on health and environment.
Our innovative solution is a device that tracks health signs like temperature, oxygen levels, and heart rate for people in rural communities.
The innovation earned the girls from Trinity Secondary School in Anambra State first position. Our cyber trash for environmental sanitation got the federal government college girls from Taraba State the second position, and a smart waste bin to contain spread of Lassa fever by Government Science and Technical College, Edo State, third position. For the minister, the competition is for these young minds to explore their talents.
The biggest asset that we have in this country are the young people. But for us to truly empower them so that they are ready to participate in the global economy, which is extremely digital, we must attempt to catch them young, because we want to ensure that girls are not left behind. We've created a Girls in ICT competition.
Code clubs are to be established in secondary schools nationwide. Teachers equipped with required skills as lifeline for sustaining this program. In Abuja, Chimdema Ndubisi, NTA News.
This is the news at 10 on NTA News 24. More stories when we return.
I am Oluremi Tinubu, the global and national Stop TB champion. Many people have asked why I've chosen to champion the fight against a disease like tuberculosis. My reason stems from a deep personal experience. I once had a friend who unfortunately fell ill and concealed the nature of his sickness until it was too late. Eventually, after he passed, we discovered he had tuberculosis. Sadly, due to the stigma and discrimination surrounding the disease, he would not speak up or seek for help. His death was a painful reminder that we could have intervened and saved a life if only we had known earlier. Tuberculosis is an airborne disease that primarily affects the lungs, but can also impact other parts of the body. Being airborne means anyone, regardless of their socio-economic status, can contract it. In Nigeria, one person dies of TB-related illness every 7 minutes, amounting to 206 deaths every day. Globally, one person succumbs to TB every 25 seconds, which is a staggering 3,456 lives lost daily. These deaths are entirely preventable because TB is curable if detected and treated early. If you or someone you know has been coughing for 2 weeks or more, coughing up blood, experiencing night sweats, or losing weight drastically, it might be TB. Please visit the nearest government hospital or primary health care center for proper diagnosis and treatment. TB treatment is free in all government and some private health facilities. Let us also remember not to stigmatize or discriminate against TB patients or those who have been treated for TB. Individuals who have been cured of TB cannot infect others. I call on all stakeholders, especially the private sector, to join us in the fight to end TB in Nigeria. Together, we can make a difference. Remember, TB anywhere is TB everywhere. End TB by 2030. Yes, we can.
Thank you for being there. The maiden edition of Tech Symposium Africa, a non-governmental organization held in Abuja, brought together tech professionals, innovators, and enthusiasts to discuss key issues shaping the global tech landscape. The event spotlighted emerging trends in cybersecurity, Suleiman Abdul Wahab was there.
Tech Symposium Africa brought together experts from across the tech sectors to address African digital growth. The event focused on tech policies, innovations, and building a strong digital framework for the continent.
As time goes on, especially with cybersecurity, with all of us getting into the digital space, we are going to need cybersecurity professionals, tech professionals. We can't leave everything all to the men, right? So we need women to also fill this role.
One of the major themes is cybersecurity, with calls for Nigerian youth to develop stronger digital skills to combat rising cybercrime.
The question right now is, once your phone is hacked, the question is, what do you do? There are a few things you could do. Tracing them should not really be an option because whoever has done it has done it. Rather, the question is, how do you recover?
That fear is there that AI will replace a lot of things in the world, but we should know that the traditional way of research should not be let go. If not, we will lose our history.
The gathering also served as a platform for cybersecurity experts Anil Amisu Jafaru to launch 2 books, Cyberspace Chronicle and Becoming a Tech Expertpreneur.
The first book, Cyberspace Chronicles, has a total of about 142 different policies that we have recommended. So we are recommending that the government have a copy of the book and begin to implement some of these policies, framework and strategies. Then the book also recommends that we begin to talk about cyber policing in this part of the world. We are doing good compared to other African countries, but I believe it can be better. We need to have a standalone agency. The Nigerian Cyber, the NPF, National Cybercrime Center, is doing a fantastic job.
Speakers urge governments and private institutions to strengthen cybersecurity measures and support local tech solutions, stressing that Africa's future depends on securing its digital space. In Abuja, Suleiman Tobu Abdul Wahab, NT News.
Nigeria is set to begin operations on electronic ethics proposal submission system, e-portal, to ease health research submissions with a target on advancing health equity and research excellence in country and Africa. The National Health Research Ethics Committee, NHREC, is hosting national and state-level research ethics committees, RECS, policy stakeholders and partners in Abuja on standardization of research ethics review processes in Nigeria. Oluseyi Adeagbo has details.
The National Health Research Ethics Committee continues with arrangements for the takeoff of the NREC e-portal, an online system that will replace the traditional manual process of health research submission and offering researchers a faster, more accessible and transparent way of submitting reviews and get approval for research protocols.
We have several of our protocols that's been submitted like some of them 8 months ago now, and they've not even had a response for acknowledgement. And I said, we haven't seen the protocols. We cannot review what we have not seen. The problem with that is there's a clog in the system. Maybe those applications have gone somewhere else. What this will remove is that the investigator will know real time that something is happening to my application and can challenge that. So principally what this is going to do is that it's going to improve efficiency, but also harmonize how we do things across the country.
NREC, with the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare and partners, are driving the 2-day workshop that assembles participants, including research institutions across the country and abroad.
It ensures that any research done anywhere in the country or any research approved in anywhere in the country is the same no matter what part of the country you are in. So it's very important for the safety of the research that we're doing, but the safety of Nigerians as well. And it shows the international community that we're serious about research, that we're serious about our citizens, and that we're serious about healthcare in general.
Because in the corner of your bedroom, you can submit your proposal. You don't need to start calling from wherever you are, whether your brother or sister knows someone in Ministry of Health to help you submit. Once you've gone digital, that means you can go to the website, log on to the site, and make your submission.
While development partners commend Nigerian government's commitment to strengthening research governance, they are expectant on the long-term impact of the project. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, NTA News.
On judiciary, the National Judicial Council has directed the Imo State Governor to reverse its decision on the appointment of Justice Theophilus Nnamdi Nzeku as the acting chief judge of the state. The NJC took the decision at its 108th meeting, presided over by the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kudirat Kekere-Ekun, in Abuja. Dele Atumbi of our judiciary desk reports.
The National Judicial Council directed the Imo State Governor, Opus Odima, to appoint the most senior judicial officer in the State High Court's hierarchy as the acting chief judge in line with Section 271, subsection 4 of the Constitution. The Council resolved that the constitutional provision on appointment of an acting chief judge of a state does not give room for discretion, where a number 4 in the hierarchy of Imo State Judiciary will be appointed as acting chief judge above his senior brother judges. The Council equally resolved that Justice Theophilus Nnamdi Nzeku should be issued a query to show cause within 7 days why disciplinary action should not be taken against him for presenting himself to be sworn in as the acting chief judge of Imo State. Also directed President Customary Court of Appeal of Imo State to show cause within 7 days why disciplinary action should not be taken against him for presiding over the Judicial Service Commission meeting that recommended the appointment of the acting chief judge contrary to the provision of the Constitution. As a way of upholding and protecting judicial integrity, the Council suspended Justice Jane Ian of the Court of Appeal Uyo Division for 1 year without pay. The investigation committee found Justice Jane Iyan culpable in breaching Rule 3, subsection 5 of the revised Code of Conduct for Judicial Officers. Justice Jane Iyan was found to have abused his office by issuing inappropriate ex parte orders for the sale of a petrol station and other businesses at interlocutory stage of the case. In addition, the NJC also suspended Justice Iyan Eho of the Federal High Court Abuja Division for 1 year without pay. It also placed Justice Iyan Eho on watch list for 5 years and barred from elevation for 5 years. Justice Iyan Eho was indicted for delivering a ruling in a pending application without hearing the parties. The Council also suspended Justice Aminu Bafa Aliyu of the Federal High Court Samfara Division for a period of 1 year without pay for judicial misconduct in breach of Rule 3, subsections 1 and 5 of the 2026 Code of Conduct for Judicial Officers. Also placed Justice Aminu Bafa Aliyu on the watch list for 3 years, within which period he is barred from elevation. The Council in addition empaneled 9 committees to investigate 27 judicial officers for various allegations of misconduct. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi, NTA News.
Patriotic and dutiful Nigerians who are making tremendous impact in their fields of endeavor have been honored by a non-governmental organization, Better Nigeria in Good Practice. Elizabeth Omori reports that retired unsung heroes from the public and private sectors were also recognized.
Hard work, commitment and selflessness been rewarded. They are drawn from the public and private sectors as a result of their positive contributions to the growth of the nation's economy. For the award recipients, the gesture is a call to dedicated service.
Nigerian worker, you are the backbone of this country. You are the one that is raising Nigeria to where it is. So I want to tell all workers that we should continue to put our best.
I see this present administration is doing everything possible to turn around the Nigerian economy so that workers will be better for it.
Poor remuneration, delay in payment of pension, insecurity, and access to basic health services, they identified as factors inhibiting the growth of Nigerian workers.
So the Workman Compensation Act should be looked into so that it will affect the public and private.
We see it upon ourselves that Nigerian workers deserve a little celebration before they exit from the job. And while doing that, we need to promote ethics and peaceful coexistence.
They recommend prioritization of welfare of Nigerian workers, increment in salaries, and care of the elderly. Elizabeth Omori, NTN.
The Nigerian Institute of Public Relations is advocating the promotion of Nigeria's local content policy to boost the country's economic growth. Kunle Adeye reports that the Institute's FCT chapter discussed the initiative at a meeting alongside plans for the upcoming Public Relations Week in Akwa Ibom State.
The Nigerian local content policy aims to increase the participation of Nigerian companies, labor, and goods in the oil and gas industry. A seasoned member of the Abuja chapter of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, Obinna Ezeobi, chronicles the implementation of the policy, but emphasized that execution will be more effective with public relations.
So CSR and local content becomes one and the same at some point. Also, companies that are executing local content can actually have CSR as part of their initiatives. So there's a connection.
President of NIPR, Ike Neliaku, says the upcoming 2025 Public Relations Week in Akwa Ibom State will focus on strengthening public relations in Nigeria through clear communication, proactive engagement, and building strong relationships.
We now have leadership communicators, those who are in government and other leadership positions. We have energy communicators, we have aviation communicators, and we have finance communicators. So we are now building specialization and capacity in all these areas of discipline, and we cut across all aspects.
The good work that the NIPR did in respect of the spokesperson summit will also reverberate there, in the sense that we now have a spokesperson's charter and practice code. So all these will be issues that we will be talking about, because as we move beyond 2025, NIPR is going to go places.
It's on corporate social responsibility, which is key. And then as professionals, we must begin to drive this narrative. Most organizations do not know the value of corporate social responsibility, but the value goes beyond Naira and Kobo.
The summit is scheduled to hold between 19th and 24th May 2025. Kunle Adeye, NTA News.
President Bola Tinubu says the critical role of interreligious harmony and mutual trust in driving Nigeria's national development cannot be overemphasized. The #1 citizen of Nigeria stated this at the first 2025 triennial meeting of the Nigerian Interreligious Council (NIRC) held in Owerri, the Imo State capital. Kinsley Ononyu has the details.
It was a moment of sober reflection as religious and political leaders from across Nigeria converged on the Imo State capital, Owerri, for the first 2025 triennial meeting of the Nigerian Inter-Religious Council. Delivering his message, President Bola Tinubu, represented by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, described the theme of the epoch-making event, building mutual trust for national unity, as timely and essential, especially as the country confronts deepening social and security challenges. He reassured of his administration's resolve to address national issues while urging religious leaders to serve as catalysts for peace, understanding, and unity across communities within the nation.
Work hand in hand with NIRC and all stakeholders to build platforms for dialogue, enhance interfaith collaboration, and institutionalize peace-building mechanisms across the country.
Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma, who was one of the key speakers at the event, commended Nigeria Inter-Religious Council for its role in easing ethno-religious tensions in the country. He also enjoined Nigerians to put behind their historical grievances and foster unity through shared values and national identity.
We must love one another.
Because we cannot destroy whom you love. You cannot truly love God, who you have not seen, if you cannot love your fellow human being.
The co-chairman of Nigeria Interreligious Council, Muhammad Saad Abubakar, the Sultan of Sokoto, and Most Reverend Daniel Oko, the President Christian Association of Nigeria (CAN), urged leaders of both the Christian and Islamic religions to continue championing dialogue, mutual respect and cooperation among their members as the bedrock of national stability.
The foundation of any society is justice. So that's why we must always try to be the best we can be to our brothers, our neighbors, at all times.
It is important to note that without mutual trust, unity becomes an illusion. Mutual trust is the soil from which true peace, security, and national development must grow.
Also witnessed at the gathering was the formal inauguration of the Southeast chapter of the Interreligious Council, which is a strategic move towards deepening religion tolerance and engagement in the geopolitical region.
That was Kingsley Non-News story. This is the news at 10 on NTN News 24. Here is a recap of our major stories. President Tinubu to embark on two-day working visit to Katsina State to assess security situation in the area. Nigeria Education Loan Fund reaffirms zero tolerance for corruption, refutes alleged mismanagement of funds. National Judicial Council directs Imo State Governor to reverse appointment of Justice Theophilus Nnamdi Nzeku as acting Chief Judge of the state. Minister of Works inspects ongoing road constructions in Lagos, promises to all that targets must be made.
That this project is over 70% done, and so the contractor has not gotten funds up to 70%.
A cancer diagnosis coupled with the overwhelming cost of treatment often feels like a death sentence, particularly for low-income patients and their families. The financial burden of out-of-pocket expenses for essential cancer care can devastate entire households, leaving them struggling long after the diagnosis. Oluseyi Adiabo, in this Solution Journalism feature, explores the bottlenecks cancer victims face and a ray of hope for sufferers of this deadly disease, courtesy of the federal government.
Discovered she had breast cancer.
It's about 6 months since Ibrahim Olabanji and his siblings lost their mother to breast cancer, and it now chronicles how they struggled to fight it.
It was really challenging because we needed funds to actually push our treatment, which was way beyond our power, because we were looking at over 13 million naira. So we resorted to traditional medicine as well, because we just needed to find a way still to get her healthy. And so we kept trying till we lost on the 28th of November 2024.
Cancer treatments in Nigeria is capital intensive. Chemotherapy session, a critical part of cancer care, ranges from 600,000 naira to 1.5 million naira. The story of Ibrahim's family reflects what many Nigerians are going through in search for a relief and in nurturing hope to live another day. In response to this reality of financial despondency, the Nigerian government has introduced the Cancer Health Fund, CHF. The program, which was solely managed by the Federal Ministry of Health till 2017, was reformed to include multi-sectoral response to cancer, with the establishment of the National Institute for Cancer Research and Treatment, NICRADS.
At the point of transfer of the implementation to the Institute, over 720 Nigerians benefited from the program. Well, from the time the program is transferred to the Institute so far, we have attended to over 294 Nigerians with cancer.
The doctor told me they wrote my prescription and I'll be spending over 1 million. I shock.
Mariam Salami, mother of two, started a long walk to breast cancer treatment when she saw a lump in her breast in 2022, while Mary Oyinloye began hers in 2018.
My type of cancer is triple positive. So there's this particular injection that I take for 400 and something naira. So you can imagine that amount every 3 weeks. But by the time the CHF came in, I was paying 495,000 for one Herceptin. To be sincere, if that CHF was not available that time, I would have given up on the drugs.
It was when the Soladex got to 145,000 naira that I got my CHF. It really come of help when there was nothing. When I don't have money for Soladex, it really helped me.
The CHF program at the moment responds to 3 major types of cancers: breast cancer, cervical and prostate cancer. This limitation leaves patients of other form of cancer in the cold.
We have over 200 cancers, but it's talking about 3 cancers. And again, like we know, you're talking about 200 plus million as our population is being estimated. But you can only see this thing in only 6 hospitals across Nigeria. So there's a whole lot of gaps that that exist. Slow approval rate, right? There is also funding limitations.
Well, with over 1,000 beneficiaries in the scheme and the large number of those on the waiting list, the CHF initiative may just seem like a drop in the ocean.
While I appreciate it being there at first, while I am also thankful to God, because as an advocate I see people it has helped. And again, I use at every medium to like either spark for action so that one, it will be increased.
We've gotten the mandate to really expand the National Cancer Health Fund. So at the Institute, we've set up a technical committee that reviewed the operational model of the National Cancer Health Fund, and the program renamed the National Cancer Health Fund as against the Cancer Health Fund. And the plan is to expand it to virtually all the centers that treat cancer in the country, as well as to cover all cancers that affects Nigerians.
The alarm bell rings very loudly with a rhythm that screams underfunding. A proactive public-private partnership may just be the key.
And then you have a program at a pilot stage, which is purely funded. Originally, the National Cancer Health Fund is not meant to be purely funded by government, but rather a counterpart funding, where the government would dedicate a budgetary allocation. Then you have philanthropic organizations, local and international partners coming in together to contribute so that you can have effective coverage. Of course, you know, cancer care is extremely expensive, and that's why there's a lot of financial toxicity on the patients. And not only on the patient, even on government, when you now come to awareness creation. And that is one of the areas the Institute is really working on. Most people are not even aware about the National Cancer Health Fund.
Indeed, the National Institute for Cancer Research and Treatment, NICRADS, with collaborative efforts and more support from organized private sector, could perhaps prevent others from suffering the same fate like Ibrahim's mother. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, NTA News.
Well, that concludes the news at 10 on NTA News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Norlin Ebel Ame. See you at the top of the hour for the news update.